And we are live. Welcome to another episode of Sunday Night Watch Soup. I am joined here. My name is Bobby Legs, and I am joined by my co-host Sanjay from the at engineer underscore wannabe Instagram and the engineer wannabe YouTube channel. Sanjay, thanks for last week I was away, and Sanjay did a great job hosting with my man Clayton. Man, Clayton's been getting a lot of airtime lately. It's
Yeah,
awesome. You know,
yeah.
I love it. I love it. Sanjay, how you doing, man?
Good, good. Been
Yeah,
a busy weekend. Just running a whole bunch of errands lately, but it's been really nice. It's been a relaxing weekend. So
yeah,
busy
excellent,
but relaxing. Yeah.
excellent. What do you have on wrist, man?
Um, Planet Ocean still.
Oh, it's not like I didn't see that watch a few minutes ago.
Yeah. I should have changed watches.
No, 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 no. Torrin did, but I didn't. So yeah,
Oh
you
no.
did. So we're good.
Yeah.
Torrin's fancy. So I this over on Friday. Toppers Jewelers, they at noon Eastern, they release all their pre-owned watches that they get in for the week, right? And there was a Planet Ocean in there, and it looked awesome, right? It had the old 2500 movement, um, and it was black bezel. It looked like kind of a little bit like yours, but
Yeah.
it was like for like I don't know, like just under 3,000. But then you put in the 10% off coupon code, and so it was like maybe 26, 2,700. And I know they have been trending up lately. But I was so tempted because it was like in really awesome condition. It was in
Yeah.
great condition.
Would that be the one with the orange three? Was it 6, 9, 12? The
I
orange.
can I forget. I
Yeah.
forget. I don't think so. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. It's gone. It's gone from their site, or maybe it
Oh,
just
okay.
says sold on it. But it looked awesome. It looked
Yeah.
awesome. Um, hey Torn,
Hey, how's it
what's up,
going?
man? How you doing? So we,
Oh, can't complain.
if some of you guys may know or may not know, but we were just on Torrance channel doing a stream. He was giving away a Zelos for his 5,000 subscriber milestone. Congrats, Torrance. That's awesome.
Thanks so much.
Um, and thank you for joining us today. What did you switch? What do you have on wrist now?
So I've been wearing for the past 5 minutes this guy here. This is the Omega Speedmaster
Oh,
Professional.
very nice. That's the one you
Nice
picked up
job.
recently, right? When you met up with Sanjay. Is that the one you met up with Sanjay and you picked that up?
It is, yes. Yeah, I'm wearing it on a strap now, though. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's see.
What strap is that?
This is what is this? It's a Straps Co. Stone Gray vintage leather.
Yeah, looks really nice. It's taupe. It almost looks like a taupe strap.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Beautiful, beautiful watch. We got some nice watches here. Oh, I got my Jaeger and Benzinger, my evening watch. I'm gonna stop calling that. I mean, I know you guys are probably sick of it. Anyway,
No,
let's
no.
say let's say hello to some people in the chat. First, what do you guys say?
Yeah.
Um, there's the big wrist. How you doing? Hey, Bruce. Nice to join us. Underachieving watch collector. How are you? Hey, Sam. Sands of time all the way from Australia. Awesome. Love it. Bill K. How you doing, buddy? Keith E's here. What's up, Keith? Chaz from the Berg. Chaz all the way from the Berg as well. Awesome. Nilo5280. What is up? Justin R is here. Hey, Joe's here. Hey, Joe. Um, James Duffy. Scroll. Peter, what's up, man? How are ya? AZ Clayton. How you doing, man? Kevin S. Caliber. What's going on? We got the usuals here. I love it. Um, hey, Amin. How you doing, man? Thanks for joining. Paul's here. Thank you, Paul. Let us know what you guys are wearing on wrist. Love to talk about that. Um, everything in Topper's pre-owned selection is like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what they do in their descriptions, they give like a rating, like it's like 93% new, or like for the how good in shape it is, and
Hmm.
they'll do the bracelet as well. They'll tell you the bracelet's like 95%. So that's kind of like it's a good guide. except for we just don't know. I mean, like my 95% could be somebody else's 95%, 90%. You know what I mean? So, Jason, all the way from Aruba, what is up? See here, more peeps, more peeps, more peeps. Luke is here. Ken. Hey, Njama, what's up, Mr. Jones? How are you? Thank you for being here. JCB is here. Hey, there's Clayton. What's up, Clayton? Watch Sixto is here. Hey, Thomas, what's going on, my friend? Thank you for joining us. You're across the pond, right? Hey, Watch Chris. How you doing, man? Thank you for stopping by, Young Excellency. Okay. Cho. Wait, is Joe here? Yep, there he is. What's up, Joe? Thanks for stopping in. So yeah, so let's get on. So I mean, I wasn't around last week, so I have no comments. But
yeah.
let's jump into the You're Terrific segment of our our stream, and that is Sanjay's reviews. I sort of got next time I'm taking away the reviews, and it's gonna be You're Terrific reviews.
Well,
But they're terrific. They are terrific.
they are terrific. Last week we didn't actually talk about You're Terrific.
What?
He didn't do a review. He did like the Cult of Cartier video. So
yeah, I remember that. Okay.
Yeah. So there's not much to talk in terms of review, and there were other videos we wanted to talk about. So there you go.
All right.
But this week, You're Terrific did a great video on
He did.
on the Glashütte original 60s. So yeah, he called it the Eye of Sauron. I don't know if anyone else calls it that, but that was a pretty fitting description.
Do you know what that is, Sanjay?
Yes, I do.
No, he's seen these, right? You've seen the Lord of the Rings, right?
Kind of.
Okay.
I know there's a shriveled man who loves a ring, and the ring turns you invisible.
So you haven't seen them then?
I mean, I think I have a long time ago.
You would know because they're like at least 3.5 hours long. The movie.
Aren't there 3?
Yeah, but each one of them is like
seriously.
3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So you haven't seen them. It's okay. It's okay, man. It's okay. You haven't seen them. You haven't seen them. It's okay.
No, I have seen them. I promise.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
That was a perfect synopsis. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. The shriveled man disappearing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. You're right. No, that's
there's also like a bowman, right? Who's like 600 years old, or something like that. But anyway,
bowman.
What would you call that? Archer? Archer. There you go.
He's an elf.
Okay.
Yeah, he's an elf.
First of all.
That yeah. Orlando.
I'm
Bloom?
sorry I
Orlando
asked.
Bloom?
Yeah, no. These are the questions that need to be asked, Thorin.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Anyway, the dial was really, really nice. It was an orange flame dial, fume kind of dial that had this really cool burnt pattern on it. It had like it looked. I think he mentioned that it was stamped with a 60-ton press. So really interesting detail there. He was full of his usual jokes.
Yeah.
Especially the segment that he talked about. Hey, I should really talk about these guys and what's for lunch or something like that. So I really appreciate his humor, and a really great video that you guys should check out. Did you guys get a chance to check it out?
Yeah, I watched it. It was really good.
Yeah. It was.
I did. I'm not a big fan of the 60s line, but I don't know. I mean, I think Evan can sell me on it. You know what I mean? Like that watch is all right. When he started getting in detail about the dial and mentioned how like these are not really applied indices, they're like in a groove, like that kind of like little stuff. Like I don't know. To me, that I love knowing that detail about that watch. I just here's what bothers me. It's the font of the numbers.
I hear you.
I love the font.
Yeah. Yeah, very
I just think
divisive, right?
it works with the dial, I find. I don't
And
know.
and maybe so, and maybe so. But I don't know.
I also like a subtle detail is the case back and how it's
Yes.
all like transparent, right? It's not just the movement, but you can actually
Yeah,
see outside the movement, which is pretty cool.
and the fact that you can get these watches, I mean, I've seen them, like he says, between 5 and 6, and that's where they mostly trade at. But I've seen them under 5 at times, right?
Mm.
It really is a great deal. And I would buy it in a heartbeat, in a second. But those fonts, man, on the number is just, I just can't get over it.
Yeah. Font is a really big thing for me too. I totally understand what you're saying. Because there's a Grand Seiko that I really love, the SBGR 321 with beautiful blue dial, red tip seconds hand, um, nice case design, a little thick, but there is this huge block lettered automatic at the bottom, and it's hideous. It's the ugliest font. It's like
Yeah,
Times New Roman capitalized, and it's
yeah.
so bad. And that ruins the watch for me. Just the automatic text at the bottom. So I totally get it. But I used to not like the font on the 60s, but I do like it now.
I
Strange enough.
I tell you what, and this is how like even like finicky I am. So I don't like it on the 60s. I don't mind it on the Timex Marlin,
Oh,
Interesting.
hmm.
and it's the same exact font, pretty much,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But there's maybe it's in combination with the amazingly crazy and beautiful dial of the Geo. That's, I don't know, if it was maybe a solid color dial, it would be more acceptable
Hmm.
for me. But
They
then again, I wouldn't buy the Marlin anyway. I mean, so
do they have solid dial variants, solid color dial
I
variants?
don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
They have a green one, which looks great. And I think they may have another color, maybe like blue or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they are, I think they're, as he mentioned, they're releasing a new dial color every year, or they had been.
Yeah.
They
Um,
have, yeah.
yeah. So other than that, man, it's just an awesome watch for great price from a great brand. And man, I really wish I would buy one. I could buy one, but I just can't.
Yeah. I
Yeah. I
hear
don't
you.
like dress watches normally, but I would pick that one up. And I do think it was very true to the original 60s design because
Mhm.
I'll geek out and like I've been to Glashütte and I've been to the Glashütte Watch Museum,
Mm.
and you actually see the original watches in the museum, like from the GUB, like
Oh
just kind
wow.
of like hanging there, yeah, and
Wow.
very true to the original design. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. So next up was ID Guy. He did a review of his Longines BigEye, um, a watch we've talked about previously, but he did a 3 month review. So this was like a long term review. And one thing that really bugged me about the BigEye that he says didn't really bother him too much was the thickness of it and the slab sidedness of it. I found it really interesting that he said he wouldn't change anything about the BigEye. So he really appreciated how that watch wore and how it looked on his wrist. He has a smaller wrist, kind of like me, and he found that watch great, and it started to push me back towards thinking about getting the titanium BigEye, because
Mhm.
I really want to. I feel like the titanium would offset the thickness enough that I'd start to really enjoy the BigEye. So I am really re-interested in the BigEye. I thought that was a really great review as well. Very detailed. He went into the history of it as well, as he does. Really great video. Uh, and yeah, Torn. Any thoughts on this review?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. He sold me on the big eye. And specifically, I'm like you. I think I want to try the titanium, not just because it's titanium, but the petroleum dial, like the colorway. I
Yeah.
think is very interesting visually. And I think it kind of stands out from, like, for example, a classic, chronograph, black on white kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
and he did it. I'm happy. The biggest thing, like, I was happy to see was he actually kind of explained in more detail the sub-register of what the big eye is and how to read it. Because like I've seen reviews, they don't explain it at all. I'm like, how the hell do you read this like sub-dial?
Yeah, the
But
3
to me,
minutes.
it's broken up in like 3-minute intervals, like big indexes on a 30-minute counter, is the way I understood it.
Yeah.
And he said it's really easy once you get used to reading it. So I think that's actually very nice because for many chronographs, especially the 3 registered chronographs, like it's difficult necessarily to actually read the running minutes, you know?
Yeah. Your thoughts, Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, I like this watch, right? And so, but not probably not enough to like buy it after watching this review and getting more. It was a long review. I mean, I skipped through
It
certain
was.
parts of it. But I gotta say, man, it's a contender. It's a contender. I don't mind the thickness of the watch. I've had thicker chronos. Um, that doesn't really bother me so much. But it's just a really good looking watch, right? From a really classic brand. And yeah, I mean, I like the presentation. I know it's like overkill with the presentation. I like that. Um, I don't need that with every watch, but with some watches, it's okay. But the affordability of it, is very tempting. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like the review. I like it. Let's see what some people have to say about it. Big Eye wears okay, but I wish it was slimmed down a little bit. A lot of coin though for the titanium version. Nefarian says I tried on the Big Eye. I like it, but they have another chrono that I like, the tuxedo doll. Yeah, that's a good looking watch.
It is.
My style. Um, I did miss the memo, Clayton, on the collared shirts today. Sorry guys, I
You have
dropped
to
it.
be Canadian.
I know,
Yeah.
and I missed the memo on being Canadian
Well,
too.
he is the king.
I am the king.
Okay.
I'm ruling from exile at the moment.
Yeah. And that
Um,
that Adidas thing looks like a crown. So
oh man, I mean that's the right way to say it, but most people in the states call it Adidas, but that's the right way to say it. So it's just funny. Nothing. Okay, all right. Soren. Okay. I like the original Big Eye and have almost bought that watch many times. Kevin says, yeah, I think there's a lot of love for this watch. Um, except for
I
Jason.
think it won an award too, didn't it? For like in 2018 for like the best reissue or something like that within the price category.
it did. It did. GPHG.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And
Jason's saying that the symmetry doesn't work for him.
I don't
So I
know
said,
what it is, but I really like when it's not symmetrical for some reason.
yeah.
Like the Grand Seiko chronograph, it's like a mess when it comes to symmetry, because it got GMT, power reserve, 2 subdials on one side and one on this side. The Grand Seiko logo is in the middle in the corner. I think it looks great.
I do too.
Yeah, you know what, Sanjay, after you mentioned it, I started looking at it more and I really like it. Especially there's a white dial version of that, right? For Grand Seiko?
Champagne?
Yeah, champagne.
Yeah.
That's a gorgeous watch.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Used the used Type 20 is around 5K. That ain't too shabby for Reggae. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I like how ID guy tied in that Brigade's Type 20 with the Longines there, and that it was a nice little history lesson.
Yes, it was.
For sure. Stuff that I don't, delve as deep in my reviews. I just don't have the time. I mean, it's just that review takes a lot of time, and I appreciate that. I appreciate there's guys like that out there and gals that do that kind of stuff. Ooh, wait a minute. Symmetry is overrated. Asymmetry adds a lot of interest. Well done when done well. Okay. Justin saying should have called it the bug eye. All right. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, fellas, what do you say we move into the meat and potatoes? I've been calling it meat and potatoes. Part. You guys okay with that? You guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
It's your show.
Okay. It's our show. Sanjay, you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you call it meat and potatoes when I'm not around?
No.
Okay. All right.
I could call it the asparagus and I don't know.
Yeah, call it like poutine and maple syrup, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. All right.
It's a good one.
Sanjay, we're going to lead you off. Sorry, going back to back here, duty here on Haute Ones. Why the two watch collection is a hoax. Take it away, Sanjay. This is your pick.
Yeah, this was a great, insightful review from Max at Haute Ones. He did a video basically talking about how a lot of us we have this hindsight bias. He mentioned it was called, where we look back and we think that if we didn't buy all those watches, we could have bought our Grail watch or a better watch. And he was basically talking about how he's been thinking about this because he's been trimming down his collection, and a lot of people are talking about this 2 watch collection, 3 watch collection, and how it just doesn't make any sense. A couple of points that he mentioned was the fact that um, our tastes change constantly, and if we were stuck with 2 watches, it would be a real bummer. Because one day we would be really happy with these 2 watches, but in a few weeks we wouldn't be. The chances are we wouldn't be. And he mentioned that because of that, a 2 watch collection or a 3 watch collection is unlikely, and you will probably be flipping. He also mentioned that there's a lot of learning that happens when you're growing, when you're buying these more affordable watches. You're learning about your taste. You're learning about what works on your wrist. You're learning about what you appreciate in a watch. You're learning about different complications. And if you just jumped right into an expensive watch, you would miss out on a lot of learning, and you would basically miss out on the hobby. It wouldn't really be a hobby. It would be a one and done kind of thing. Um, and so a 2 watch collection, 3 watch collection is not really going to happen if you're learning. And it's good to make mistakes with cheaper watches than with expensive watches, he was mentioning. Um, and yeah, he was talking about fit and a couple of other things, how uh they're kind of like what we talked about in Watch Soup last week. We were talking about Teddy Baldessar's video on watch fit, and how different watches fit differently, different styles of watches. Like a dress watch, a 40 millimeter dress watch may not make sense because it's all dial, but a 40 millimeter dive watch might make sense for a small wrist because there's the bezel breaking up the dial, and then there's a little dial. And so all these things you kind of learn when you're buying these lesser or more entry level watches, as you build up your collection and slowly move towards, say, that Grail piece. And we're never really gonna end this hobby. We're never really gonna hit that exit watch. At least it doesn't seem that way. And so, yeah, this was a really really great thought provoking video. And I'm really keen to hear what you guys think. Do you think a 2 watch collection or a 3 watch collection is possible? We'll ask our guest, Torin.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's more of like a construct in our mind, and I don't know that it's actually something that's based, for me, it's based in reality, because for some of the points mentioned in Haute Ones, but also just in terms of, for me, it is like mostly my tastes continually evolve and change. And I don't know, I don't like to feel like I'm constrained to just 3 watches. I like to say there's 3 watches that check most of the boxes for me, but I don't know that it's something sustainable for me practically.
Yeah. How about you, Bobby?
Yeah, great video. Hot Ones, awesome channel. If you don't follow him because he does some great stuff, and his filming and editing is spectacular. So I do believe that there's people out there who just have 2 or 3 watches.
Oh yeah.
I'm totally fine with that. I'll speak for myself in saying that it is kind of a mythical dream, magical thing that I have strived for in the past, to just simplify my life and stop stressing about my watch collection, right? I think to myself, okay, once I get to 8 to 10 watches, maybe I'll just pare it down, to 3 really awesome heavy hitters. I'll consolidate and be happy with the 1, 2, 3 punch that I can put together. And then of course I go through the whole process. Well, I can't get rid of this watch because it's sentimental value. I can't buy this watch because my wife bought me the strap for it. I can't buy this one. I can't sell this one or sell that one. So I can never get down to like 2 or 3 watches anyway, even if I wanted to. I don't know. Yes, this whole process is a learning process for me. My tastes are constantly evolving. I think in general, I know what I like, but then it is so intricate and complicated that that there's variations of what I like. And that changes all the time. Like I like German watches, right? And I like sumos now, right? So now all I want to do is get German watches and collect sumos, and then I want to buy a Rolex. You know what I mean? It's just like I get pulled in too many directions, and it's very, very stressful. I shouldn't have to stress about this, right? I mean, we're just collecting watches. Why do I treat it differently than I would if I was collecting coins or Jazz Fest posters? I don't know. It's just so different. So yes, he is right. I paraphrase it. There's no such thing as a 2 or 3 watch collection. If you could be happy with that, people in our situation, right?
Yeah.
We're just not happy with that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Should we see what the chat thinks?
Yeah.
Baron Grail watch implies an N, and there is no N to watch collecting. Let me tell you. Yeah, absolutely. I picked up a couple pieces that I thought were Grail like this year, and I'm still next day still looking for the next one. Right. Never owned more than 5 watches. That's what I say. My wallet. That's good. That's a good one. Oh, I just lost everything. Okay. I do not consider a Grail watch an endgame watch. Yeah, obviously for me it's not. Do you guys?
Nope.
I mean, okay.
Yeah,
That was quick though.
exactly.
Quick though. Okay, fine. Gotcha. Roar Tiger, a 2-shoe collection would literally stink. Hey, why limit yourself on watches? Different shoes for different wear. For me, the same applies. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Makes sense to me. It took a box full of affordable watches to get me to a Grand Seiko. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely, we have to go through some of these watches, right? I had to go through buying the SKX and the Hamilton Khaki Field. Great watches, but I had to take those steps in order to figure out what I like. James Duffy again. Sure, a 2-watch collection is possible, but it would be boring and not much of a hobby. Chaz is saying for me, it's about 7 to 10 watches. That seems to be the right number. Yeah, I like that number too. I thought I could do 12, and have this idea of like wearing a watch a month or whatever. That seems, I get a little stressed out. Is there a number for you guys? Like, do you get stressed out after a certain number of watches, Torin?
Yeah, 12's kind of my cutoff before I get a little antsy.
Yeah.
For me, it's 5 to 6, I'd say.
5 to 6. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Once I hit around 6, I start to get a little jittery.
Do you guys? So right now, I find myself dive watch heavy, and that gets me a little antsy. So I would say it's probably. I think I have about 7 watches in my collection at the moment, maybe 8, and about 6 of them are dive watches. That makes me a little antsy. I mean, maybe I like dive watches. I don't think I'm necessarily a dive watch kind of guy. I like other watches, a lot of other watches that are not divers. I just either can't afford them or haven't had a chance to get in my rotation and into my collection. Do you guys get stressed out about if you're over a certain number of a genre of a type of watch? Does that affect you guys?
Yeah. For me specifically, it's dial color. So right now I'm black dial heavy.
Yeah.
And it really bugs me that I
Gotcha.
have so many black dials.
That's a good point. That's a good one. That's another one that bothers me too. What about you, Torn?
I totally agree with Sanjay. I'm black dial heavy, and it bothers me because they're also watches I don't want to part with. But I feel like I need a little more variety in dial color.
Yeah.
Are you at your 12 watch number now, Torn? Or or do you have
I'm
some?
at it right now. Yeah.
Okay. So then you'd have to like probably get rid of some, right?
I feel like I should. I think like half of them are black, so like 6 of them.
Okay. That's not so bad though. Half black. That's not so bad. That's not so bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I feel you. I understand.
blue. So my problem is I've owned a lot of blue dial watches. Finding the right color blue is like a difficult exercise for me.
No, I got you. I got you. Jason saying too much collection is possible only for the non-collector. Clayton saying barring financial circumstances, I will always have 20 to 30 watches. That's my comfort zone. Man, I wish I could do that. Damn. Do beaters count in a 3-watch collection? So I would say this, and I'm by no means the authority. I would say if you have a 3-watch collection and then you have like a cheap G-Shock square, it doesn't count.
Yeah, I agree. G-Shocks don't count.
I have a G-Shock with a multiband 6, and its sole purpose is just to set my other watches to that time.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't leave the watch book.
Yeah. Deech, yeah, whatever happens, G-Shocks don't count.
There you go.
James is saying I have 24 watch collection with 5-watch rotation. Very content with this setup. Nice. That is awesome. I'm jealous, man. I'm really jealous. I think I can get there. So like I don't wear my GP a lot anymore. I force myself to take out the Panerai out, and those watches don't stress me out. Like I almost don't even see them in my collection. Do you know what I mean? So if I get to a certain point with that, because I bought them over like 15 years ago, right? So that money is like long gone, right? and I've definitely got great value from those watches over that course of time. Like I got like every dollar's worth. So I think in the long haul, right, in the next like 10, 20 years, my collection can grow in numbers and it won't stress me out.
So I have a theory about my collection.
Like, yeah, love to hear it.
I have a feeling that if I hit like this critical mass of watches and I exceed that number, I might get comfortable with a larger collection. So I feel like if I hit maybe 15 watches and then I can put away 10 of those watches, either, a safety deposit box or something, and then I might actually be really content, like more content than I am now, because I'd be able to take those 5 watches, kind of like what James mentioned. You'd take those 5 watches, you'd rotate them with 5 others, and now you have a brand new collection of watches. Because 5 to 6 is my comfort zone, and if I have another, like, kind of like a bench of watches, like a substitute,
like a
B team and a C team, or
I like it. I'm buying 8 watches tomorrow.
Yeah.
I like it.
There you go. See, the thing is, because I find myself missing the watches that I used to have that I shouldn't have sold, and if I had kept them instead of selling them to get something else, I might have this, B and C team waiting for me. Or watches like the SBGM 221, SBG W231. I really miss that. I miss my SBGP. All these seem to be Grand Seikos. I miss the blue.
You shouldn't sell a Grand Seiko ever again.
I really shouldn't.
Do you know? No, but I mean seriously, like I mean I know they're not all the same, right, to you. But that should be, I mean, we know that GS is your thing, but it really should be your thing. Like you should have like one of those, you be one of those guys that has not every single Grand Seiko, because that's ridiculous. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But like something where, you are considered like an authority on them. You know what I mean? Like Sanjay has 20 to 25 Grand Seikos. Well, not now, but over a course of like 10, you know what I mean? And then like, when you get older and the kids are all grown up, and then you can bring them to like some studio and have them at display. These are my Grand Seikos, and you could have your little drink and smoke your
my Grand
something.
Seiko tie,
Your Grand Seiko tie,
the hat,
yeah.
the
I
Grand
think
Seiko
the
cufflinks.
Grand Seiko, like a university, they should like give you an honorary degree, like a doctorate or something.
Yeah, no,
And it should be an official title. Yeah.
I actually plan to do that because there was a point in my collection, I think, like a year and a half ago, I only had GSs.
Yeah.
So I was gonna go down that route, but then Omega kind of sidelined me.
No, you can buy other watches, but I mean, just have like 20 Grand Seikos and just be like, oh, you want to talk to the guy in Canada who knows about Grand Seikos?
Yeah.
You got to talk to this guy. You know what I mean? Like, that is
Right.
awesome. That would be so awesome, man. You should totally do it.
That would be a killer gig. Like if maybe Grand Seiko like flew you out to different events or something.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
prop
But then
you
I'd
Like a
up.
lose my
keynote
credibility.
speaker. Yeah.
I'd lose my credibility then because I'd be an employee.
Well,
Yeah, GS influencer. You should.
Yeah.
that should be your second IG account.
GS influencer.
When I say should, I mean these are just suggestions. I'm not telling
Yeah,
you
I know. I'm just going along.
Okay. Orange Hand 2 watch collection, only a hoax for watch obsessed collectors. Normal people think 2 watches is one too many. Dan, 2 sounds like a nightmare. Absolutely. Absolutely a nightmare. It totally you should get a GS tattoo.
No, I would.
GS tattoo
That'd be
for
awesome.
Sanjay. Oh man. Okay.
If I was given a SBG W264, I'd do it.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see that we can make that happen.
Hopefully Grand Seiko's watching.
Yeah. Easy clean. Oris would not extend the same offer to fly Angela. That's true.
No, I'd like to go. What was it? Snowboarding in the Alps.
I was lent in the Oris Aquis Caliber 400 this week to review. So.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
What do you think so far?
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I appreciate Sanjay's review on it, which is very honest.
Very much. GS influencer wannabe. There you go, Luke.
Yeah.
That is great. Sanjay's the Ronin of GS. Okay. Great video. Nice
Really
pick,
good
Sanjay. Let's move on to let's do Watch Gringa. Okay, I know how a lot of people feel about Watch Gringa. And actually, I gotta be honest, I am starting to like her. She does pretty good topic videos, and she has she makes valid points, right? Sure, her delivery is not for everyone. She makes Sanjay nervous with the drinking. We all are worried about how she's fine. I'm sure she's fine.
Yeah.
But I thought she made a really good video this week. And so that Kurono video watch came out, right? And it was geared for women, right? So you had to be a woman collector to get it. And then Gringo was like, Watch Gringo was going over like, the kind of requirements and how they change, and they sort of backpedaled on the requirements because they got some backlash, right, for it. But she took an interesting angle on it, one that caught me by surprise, and maybe I shouldn't have been surprised. Maybe that's just me as a chauvinist or whatever. But she was begging the watch community. He's like, don't compromise on specs, because they're women, right? Women enthusiasts, watch enthusiasts want the same specs, and great watches that are offered to men. Now I know mostly men care about watches, it seems, right? It's not necessarily historically a woman's thing, but some of the way they market to women, it's just like, it's almost like a little bit, condescending, and so she made the comparison with the Tale of Two Cities, don't. And in that comparison, she was like, you can market to women or with Kurono, you could do this, but don't exclude the men out of it. That's not how you attract a broader base. You don't try to attract women by excluding men. You bring everybody together in the fold, and put a product out there that both men and women can be happy with and wear. Obviously, look, men typically have bigger wrists than women. We get that. But women enthusiasts they deserve to have good products sent their way. And I know she made some other points, but this is like what I really, really got out of it. And I was really impressed how she put it together, and in her funny, quirky way. What did you guys think about this? Torrin, what did you think about this video?
Yeah, I did watch it today, and I did think she had some really valid points. I do like she doesn't really take herself too seriously. Sometimes
Yes.
I find her videos a little crass, but you're right. I think the execution, the message behind this one was very valid. And it was nice because, I mean, she was speaking from the standpoint of being a woman herself and, being familiar with marketing and everything like that for jewelry and watches. So for me, I thought it made a lot of sense. I can understand, I guess, the thought process behind the Kurono, like in terms of like they want to reach that market and find it empowering. I like that she mentioned like if they really want to do that, maybe they could donate some of the funds to like women organizations or up and coming women, and that might be a better approach. Like market it for women, but don't make the requirement exclusively you have to be a woman. But you could also support causes, for women. In general. So I like that approach, and I think that makes the most sense because you're not alienating anyone. And as you mentioned, Bobby, that way you're also reaching a larger audience. And most watch companies, they do have watches marketed to women, but anyone can buy them. And a lot of times they're unisex too, if you like to wear a smaller watch. So
Sanjay, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I thought this was a really well put together, well thought out video. Like you, I kind of didn't see this angle of what was going on. And it was very thoughtful because talking about mankind, or humankind in general, how again, going back to that Tale of Two Cities analogy that she made, I think that was really valid. And people are just not good in general. We kind of always repeat history, um become the things we don't want to be, generally speaking, painting with a broad brush here. But yeah, she was kind of warning against that, and that was good. uh i I don't really know what Kurono was doing here. I mean, I don't think they were that tone deaf. I have a feeling that they knew what they were doing. At least that's my opinion. I have a feeling they wanted to get into this drama, and because they've been kind of taking a lot of pages from Ming. I feel, and there was even their website, when they leaked, they had copy pasted stuff from Ming's uh, kind of like requirements to purchase a watch. They had literally copied and pasted it as a placeholder and accidentally leaked it. So I know that Kurono is watching Ming, and so because of that, I feel like Kurono knew exactly what they were doing here. But maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I thought this was a really well thought out video. Definitely showed more light to the possibilities of what is going on. Really, really good advice too, for brands who are starting out, maybe to watch this video and get an idea of what to do and what not to do. So yeah, I was impressed with this video. Yeah.
Torrin touched a little bit on that. She makes fun of herself. She's a little self-deprecating it. And when she brought up the Tale of Two Cities reference, she did a cutaway, and she was like, most people think I'm illiterate, and it's basically true. I just basically only know what Watch Poppy reads to her. And I thought that was really hilarious and charming of her to do that, and it made her more likable, to me. On a related note here, I'm starting to get a little sick about or fed up with the hoops that we must jump to get watches, and now we're having things like the Ming, their releases, and how that goes, and what a crap show that is, and then Kurono doing this here, offering a watch, but you could only be a woman initially initially you had to be a woman, not not that you had to be a woman initially and then change, but to apply, like there was an application process for this watch,
Yeah.
and like and then it goes to like Rolex, and how like it's almost
Mm.
impossible to get a watch at MSRP. It's getting a little tiresome. You know what I mean? It is getting a little tiresome. It's a little crazy,
Yeah.
and I don't know what the right answer is. I don't know if I have any right to be upset or fed up about it, because this is reality, and
No,
it's a
hey,
luxury item.
they can do what they want, and I just won't buy from them.
Yeah.
That's the answer. I think if we just don't buy, they're gonna lose money,
Yeah,
and hopefully it'll change for the better. Vote
we'll
with your
see.
wallet.
We'll see. I don't see it changing anytime soon. This is like a whole like downturn in the world economy, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Hey, there are
Uh,
so many other watches to choose from.
that's
So
that's true. There's that Longines BigEye, and you could probably
yeah,
get that all day, right?
yep.
Mm.
Rose Tiger, love the gringa. She's cool. The company she keeps, though, that's true. The lime, she doesn't take herself seriously. Drink up, cheers. Okay. Find it amazing that she is a vicar. I don't know what that. Okay. Um, all right. Let's see here. I appreciate the gringa. Thank you. Oh, hey, Average Joe's here. What's up, man? How you doing, buddy?
Hey.
Um,
Good.
let's see here. Sam, do you think the Coronas are worth it? Like they are limited, but they will always release these Miyota powered variants. Love the dials. I don't know. I mean, I design wise, I find them very pleasing. Are they worth it? I don't know.
Eh,
Yeah, yeah.
eh.
I mean, I'm not buying one.
Yeah.
What's the price? I didn't even pay attention to the pricing.
I don't even know what the pricing is. It's probably too much. It's probably
Probably.
a couple grand, but I would imagine. But
Yeah, I didn't even look it up.
Mm.
I'm not eligible to buy, so
yeah, right, exactly.
Well, your wife might want to buy you a gift. I don't know.
I should nominate her.
Vote with your pocketbook. Rob is tired of jumping through hoops when there are so many great watches out there. Yeah, I am a little bit tired of it. Kevin, that's around 2K.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, seems legit.
Okay, let's go into Torrin's pick, and it is the Bruce Williams, When Seiko is Good, the Point of Prime Satisfaction. Torrin, take it away.
Yeah, so I thought this was a fairly topical subject because I think most watch enthusiasts kind of go through this journey. And just to kind of summarize, it was a long video, but I think the key points was Bruce was kind of posing the question, like, at what price tier of Seiko do you get the most satisfaction from? Like, there's a lot to offer at each basically different price range in terms of like Seiko SKX, like kind of low range, $200 to $300. Do you go a price like a step above to some of their more limited edition dive watches or like some of their reissues? Or do you want the top tier? Do you like the Marine Masters or even Grand Seikos? And factoring the price, can you live with some of the advantages and some of the flaws with it? So I think the take-home message he really had was like, Seiko to him is a brand that has really high highs, but also very low lows in terms of like QC issues, reliability issues, like those type of things. So I thought, to me, it hit home a lot because I really started my watch journey. I cut my teeth on a lot of the entry-level Seiko divers, and I felt like it was such a good value proposition, and I was really happy. But as I continued and as my budget continued and I continued to escalate, like now owning like Grand Seiko, I look back and I'm like, well, what is the prime port of satisfaction? Because I still crave those Seikos. Like at my stream just before this, I was wearing a Sumo, and you got a Sumo, right? Right, Bobby? So phenomenal dive watch. Like it's probably my favorite prospects, like in that mid range. It's a great dive watch, great finishing, love the design. But you could look up and say, well, it's pretty close to a Marine Master 300. Kind of similar design. Is it really worth going that? Or maybe you want to go with a Grand Seiko. Like I had the SBGA 231. I think Sanjay had that at some point too. The spring drive dive watch. Yeah. Like, do you go all the way to the top there? Because there are some advantages in terms of like, obviously it's a spring drive movement. The finishing is a step above, I would say. So it's kind of like, at what point do you find the best? And I think he didn't really answer it. He left it open-ended. He wanted to hear feedback, but it does kind of pose a good question, because to me, I can see advantages and disadvantages to each price tier. And for the lowest price tier, I think you mentioned too, right? Like some of those things you could overlook in terms of like if the bezel isn't perfectly aligned, or the fact that you're getting a Hardlex crystal and not a sapphire crystal. But like at the $200 to $300 price point, you're getting an ISO certified dive watch, like, your in-house movement, like, technically Seiko's caliber 7S movements or their 4R or 6R series movements. So there's a lot of, and the designs are pretty good, and the legibility, like the loom is phenomenal pretty much on every Seiko. So
yeah,
I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on it.
Sandra?
Yeah. I don't think there is like a good tier. I think I was trying to think about this, and I was trying to say, okay, well, what tier? Like if we think about the entry level, the mid range, the upper mid, and the high end, and then the Grand Seiko, I I don't think I don't think there's a tier I'm comfortable in, and I don't think it's a question that can be answered. It seemed like you were struggling to answer that question yourself, Torn.
Well, I
Because
kind of broke it, like I visualized it this way. Like the low tier would be the 7S and 4R caliber movements from Seiko, like their entry level prospects. Mid tier would be the 6R and 8L kind of movements, and then top tier would be Grand Seiko. That's kind of how I did those tiers, and I enjoy each of those tiers for different reasons. But I would love it if you expanded a little more on what you were saying, Sanjay, about not having a really good tier.
Yeah, because I really enjoy, say, the 4R when it comes to the cocktail time watches. I really enjoy those watches. I think they're great watches. You get a lot for your money. And then I don't enjoy the dive watches in that range. But then there are the dive watches in, I'd say, the 8L. So the high end. I enjoy the dive watches when you get up to the high end. But the field watches, the everyday watches, I think they're good in the mid range. So I'm not really comfortable on any of these tiers. And Grand Seiko, I really enjoy their dress watches and their everyday pieces, and I think I enjoy that the most. But I think Seiko is just good on all levels. You just have to find the watch that you like in that level.
Yeah.
And yeah, there are issues, I guess, but those aren't permanent. I don't think they'll be there forever. I think they'll get ironed out. But yeah, just find the watch that you like in the tier that you like, and you're set. So I don't think this question can really be answered. It was a great thought provoking video though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, Sandy, you're right. I think there's no clear cut answer. Only you can answer what you're comfortable with, and you guys, I feel like have way more experience with Seiko than I do, and you guys make some great points. I'll tell you this: I am comfortable spending $500 to $600 on a Seiko Sumo. That's where I am right now. I am not comfortable spending any more on Seiko because I feel like the higher I go, well, there's a whole lot of competition out there with a whole lot of other brands. There's Damascos that are very interesting. I'm going the German route and
Yep.
Zins until maybe a couple of days from now when their pricing goes up. But I I, I like my Sumo. I like it, and I'm very comfortable there. I was comfortable, probably lower at some point. I haven't really gone higher, although I've had higher. I've had 8L movements in for review. No Grand Seiko yet. Hopefully that will change in the short term. I may have some access to some Grand Seikos to review, so I'll just say that I won't comment on higher end Seikos or Grand Seikos for now. But right now, I am comfortable with the Sumo, and that's where I'm gonna stick at for a little while longer. But great video, great topic.
Mhm.
I wish like you guys, I wish he would have answered it for himself, Bruce.
Mm.
But maybe he did. I don't know.
Mm.
I
But
I think he's kind of struggling with it as well
yeah,
because he
Yeah.
was talking about the really low end Seiko that he really enjoyed with
Yeah.
the boxed hardlex crystal,
mhm.
and then
Yeah,
he
I
was
think
talking about the
it was a recraft series
yeah,
Seiko that he got from his father.
right.
Yeah.
And
What other brand could we have this conversation about? Do you know what I
Citizen.
mean?
yeah,
I get, yes, sure, Citizen. Yeah, but I mean, like, but I think as many of us like watch enthusiasts, and maybe I'm speaking out of turn here, but like you, Torin, we've cut our teeth on Seiko, right?
Yeah.
Um, I've owned I've never owned a Citizen. I like them. I've had a couple in for review, but I never owned them. But I can't think of any other brands that well has this catalog that is
Yeah.
so vast, right? And hits a lot of price points. I'm sure they are, but the endless number of models, and then you have Japanese models, and then you have like, you know, it's unique. Seiko's really unique in this way.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I don't know that it can be answered, but I'll give you guys my answer, and it's just my opinion. And I think the point of prime satisfaction for me was a Seiko Sarb 035, which I have to this day. But
Yeah.
I like it 5 years ago because Seiko has gone up market and the
Mhm.
prices have steadily increased.
Yeah.
And now if you want to buy a Seiko Sarb, they've doubled in price. Like I think I was buying in around the $400 price range. And at that point, when I first got the watch, like to me it looked like a Grand Seiko,
Yeah.
not experiencing Grand Seiko, but like if you were to quickly look at it, and I think I've on my Instagram I've done a quick couple of shots comparing that to my Grand Seiko SPGN 003. It's like you really don't see too much that jumps out at you in terms of like, I don't know, quality overall, like from a distance, like just looking at it,
Mhm.
point of view. So to me, that just hit all the high notes for me. I like the 6R15 movement on the Sarb. I like that it has sapphire crystal. I love the dimensions.
Yeah.
Even the bracelet wasn't too bad. I mean, I put it on.
I had the 33. I love the bracelet.
Yep. And I gave the 33 to my brother. So,
Yeah.
I mean, for people who don't know, we have matching, well, we have a twin Sarbs because I have a twin brother. So,
No, good.
never getting rid of that watch.
No, that's an excellent point bringing up the Sharp 33. I've bought and sold that watch twice, and I totally regret doing it. I wish I still had it in the collection.
Yeah, because if you want it now, you're paying way more than,
Not only that, right? I mean, like now I won't buy it because it's like double the price as you said. But I really enjoyed the watch. I really enjoyed it, and each time I sold it, I thought, nah, I'm gonna go up market and leave this watch behind. And that's not realizing myself and knowing myself that I like watches in all price categories, and that watch actually gave me a lot of enjoyment, and I totally blew it. Totally blew it.
Yeah. So for me, again, at that price point, like buying it long ago, and at the price point of like say $300-400 US, I consider that watch unbeatable for like pretty much any other watch. Like 100 meters water resistant, great finishing, has lume on the dial, all the other reasons we mentioned.
Yeah.
I don't think it could be beat. But now it has gone up market. They've kind of re-released like the series that kind of is like a Sarb, but not really. And then they the Sark series and
Yeah.
all those other things, right? But at that time, I think that would be my answer, but that's just me personally. I don't know that you can actually answer that question. It's
Yeah.
just the right watch for you, like Sanjay said.
Let's see what the chat says. MJ says no Seiko in the collection. Don't get Sanjay started on QC. Underachieving watch collector. I am content being Seiko free. I once thought that too, and then I wanted a Sumo, and now I'm happy I have the Sumo in the collection. I'm only buying vintage Seiko these days. Okay. I'm not anti psychotic. I am enjoying my life free from the institution. So he's unplugged from the matrix. Justin has. Um,
Nice.
oh, that just totally jumped. Darn it. Sorry. There's so many comments here about it. Awesome. Thank you guys. I've always had a couple of Seikos. They have so many great options. Love the history of the brand. Kevin, the talk of Seiko QC issues is getting a bit tiresome. Agreed. Buy it or not if you want it. Just enough discussion on the topic from the pundits. Seems like the new YouTube clickbait. It's been a clickbait for a while now, for sure. But yeah.
I've calmed down about it too. I've just taken it for what it is now.
Underachieving watch collector says Jeff McMahon is in Seiko prison. I love when he says that. Navy Blue Master, I enjoy Seiko at all price points. Let's see here. Ben, I guess into the low end like Presage and high end Grand Seiko. I don't have anything in between. Yeah, I mean, it's quite possible because the catalog is so huge, right? To not be in between. Royal Tiger, agree. No good tier individual models that are very good. Yes, good point.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, don't worry about it. No biggie. Rob, I've had 5 Seikos 4 years and older. I have 5 Seikos 4 years and older. Great watches, no QC issues. I already said that. I read that. Okay, Seiko design has a hook on me. Yeah, there's something to, maybe because they have so many models that eventually it's gonna hook somebody with something. You know what I mean? Like,
not only that,
yeah.
their models are pretty iconic. Like you get a lot of homages to them, right? Or like Chinese knockoffs. Like.
James, I like Seiko's design aesthetics, so I just need to buy more carefully to avoid a QC lemon. Why does Seiko refuse to use ceramic at higher end? They have ceramic on the King Turtle and a Samurai. I am not completely enamored with ceramic bezel inserts. I get sometimes they look cool on the watch. I mean, I prefer the old like aluminum or whatever, steel, whatever they use. Bezels sometimes I just like them.
Some of their bezels, I don't know what they're made of. Like they're like coated with something. Like,
Yeah.
Well, they're lacquered and then
yes,
hardened.
Right.
Yeah. Even like the higher end Grand Seiko diver that you and I had.
It looked ceramic, but it wasn't. It was like
it was
ADLC. ADLC, right?
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Okay. I love the Sarb 017, the Alpinist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good watch there. Those are also expensive now, right?
Yeah.
Defined, right? Let's see here. I love the Seiko design. Wabi Sabi, says Chaz. Ceramic inserts just don't look right on a vintage reissue. Yeah, I think I agree with that. And let's see here. Hey, Flippin' Zippo, what's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for joining us. Paul, I had a Sarb, an SPB 143. The 6R35 was all over the place, sold it. Need better QC, and it wasn't my first one. It's 1250. The SPB 117 Alpinist X is 750. At 750, Alpinist was solid. I've heard a lot of people mention they have issues with the 6R35. My 2 Sarbs had it. I had a Seiko Monster 3rd gen. I have the second gen Sumo. I haven't had issues yet.
Well,
Or
it's
had
a, I feel like
That's
it's a
the
more recent
6R15,
thing.
I believe.
was that
I think that's the 6R15.
15? Sorry, 6R
Yeah.
15. Sorry.
Yeah,
The-
no, I agree. I think that's a solid movement. I think Sanjay had a few issues with the 6R35s, though, right?
Yeah, many issues.
Mm.
Really all over the place. Not it ran, and it was reliable, but it was just minus 40 one way, plus 15 the other. So it was horrendous tolerance wise. But it seems to be a recent thing because I remember when I had 6R15s that were really reliable, like
Yeah,
decently.
like Bobby, my two 6R15s in my Sumo and Sarb are pretty solid.
70-hour power reserve on a 6R35 means it just runs crappy longer.
Hot take.
Well, I mean that's the kind of knock on, or the expectation on a lot of the Seiko movements, right? Especially on this lower to mid range, is that they're terrible on the time grapher. I've heard that a lot. But I don't know. I don't count on my Sumo to be really accurate with time. I don't have that expectation.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Maybe I should. I don't know. I just don't. I just like the way it looks, and if it's in the ballpark with time, okay, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
I'm a bit more relaxed now when it comes to accuracy as well. But I do check the accuracy, like when I pick up the watch after it's been sitting for say maybe a night or a day,
Mhm.
and a couple of times they were 2 minutes slow, and at that point I was just like, well, that's not pretty.
Yeah. Well, guys, we just wrapping up another great episode of Sunday Night Watch Soup. I will not be here next week, so Sanjay will be taking over again, and doing a great job as he always does. Torn, what's going on this week? Do you have any videos coming out? Anything we should be on the lookout for?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on the show.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Today I just so I was on vacation in Banff, Alberta last week, and today I just put out a quick clip of some of the footage. I stepped out of my comfort zone and took a couple of my heavy hitters with me. So I brought my Rolex Explorer and my Breitling Super Ocean on the trip, and so I'm actually summiting a mountain with the Rolex Explorer. It felt
Nice.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Nice.
So check out that quick clip if you guys are interested on my channel. But
Awesome.
that's pretty much what I got going on this week.
Excellent. Sanjay, what say you? What do you got?
I will put out the winners for the hat giveaway that I'm doing. So I have 3 hats
Nice.
that I'm
Yeah,
giving away.
yeah.
So that video will be coming out. Other than that, I hope to do a review maybe on I've been really meaning to do a review on the Speedmaster, so maybe I'll get that out. I don't
right,
really
yeah.
know. Yeah, and I need to do a review on the Presage, the 34 mil cocktail times that I have, and I think those would be great watches for us small wristed guys. So I'm gonna be talking about that in that review. So
Excellent. I look forward to it, man. I look forward to it.
yeah.
I got to catch up. I saw half of your watch draft last night with
Yeah.
the guys.
No, that was
That
fun.
was so much fun. Yeah.
Very entertaining for sure. I got to
I
finish
don't want
the
to toot my
rest.
horn, but I beat Sanjay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, guys, yeah, hopefully I'll get out a video on a review video. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but for Wednesday, have something out. Of course, Friday night, chat with the boys, and like I said, next Sunday, Sanjay will be taking over Watch Soup on his channel. Anyway, guys, I hope you had a great Sunday night. Have a great and productive week, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Have a
Yeah.
good night.
Good night, guys.
Cheers, guys.
See ya. Oh, he did it again.
Wow, he just dropped. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Joke
Are we
time.
still live?
We're still live. Okay.
Awesome. So
What?
Did it again.